Hey everybody, welcome to the Mark Parham Podcast. You can find me on Spotify by just going to Spotify and typing in Mark Parham Podcast, and I should pop up. So I was looking at Twitter, now it's called X, and one thing I've noticed is that everyone's sort of talking about Zohran Mamdani, and how he's been removing snow and his job performance so far, and it's just very interesting to see because I'm seeing, some videos from some folks where they're like, oh, he's doing a great job. I mean, those are probably videos from Democrats. But then I'm also seeing videos where the snow is stacked up. There's streets in the Bronx that haven't been, basically shoveled or plowed with the snow plow. And I'm seeing some complaints too. And so it's very interesting to see, how people have different opinions of him. And I'm not surprised. I mean, some people support him, some people don't. But how would you rate, if you live in New York City, how would you rate Zohran Mamdani as far as removing the snow? I mean, from what I'm seeing online, I think, it's sort of mixed. Some areas, I guess, are done. And then there's other areas, maybe in the Bronx, that aren't done. And so it's just very interesting to see, how he's doing as far as removing snow and stuff like that. And also I saw a photo where it was, some folks were having, I guess it was in front of a hospital or something like that, where, folks were having to basically step into snow to get inside the hospital, something like that. But, some people have been talking about the bus stops haven't been, cleared of snow and things like that. And again, you look at a place like New York City, it's got all the latest technology and the smartest people. And, it's insane that all these years and all of these mayors haven't come up with a system to really clean the snow. I mean, I think that snow removal in Manhattan should be the same as what's, the snow removal in the Bronx. I've seen some videos where, the snow was basically backed all the way up into people's cars and stuff. And so it's just amazing to me that a city that has, so much wealth and so many important people, so many smart people, can't do a better job at clearing, some snow. It just amazes me. And I know the sanitation department's been, I guess, working very hard, but, by now you would think that with all the just brilliant people in New York City, that something as basic as making sure that sidewalks are cleared and that the streets are cleared, you would think that would be an easy task. And so, it just amazes me, well, I would say nothing amazes me when it comes to New York City. I mean, so much weird stuff happens, you sort of expect, incompetence and things like that. And then also I saw something very cool where they were putting snow into looked like what do they call it, a hot tub or something like that, or a hot bath or whatever that machine was. And basically somebody would scoop the snow up with his tractor and then, sit up and they would dump it into this, I guess, hot bed or something. It was like almost like something that was warm enough to heat the snow and melt it to water or something like that. And, it's very interesting. It's just very interesting, to see the different machines and things they're using. But, let me know how you feel about Zohran Mamdani when it comes to, his job performance with snow removal. Also, another thing I want to say is that I've also seen videos online of, all these protests that have been happening in New York City and all these different places, with immigration. And the thing I want to talk about is, why, and I'm not saying that the Trump administration is doing the greatest job as far as, immigration. I mean, some people were saying, oh, well, why wasn't all this stuff happening under Obama? And one of the reasons I would say that is because, A, you have the news media that wants to find anything they can when it comes to Donald Trump. Any wrongdoings or anything. It's just like somebody might have, sat up and, did whatever. Any little thing they're going to pick up on, which, is expected. A lot of the folks in the media don't like Trump. But also, these rules that, or some of these executive orders that some of these, governors and, mayors are signing and stuff like that, as far as, immigration, in trying to protect immigrants and things like that. It's just like, some of these Democrats need to realize that if you enter the country without the proper paperwork, you're committing a crime. And the big thing they like to say is, oh, well, that person came to the country, they're not committing any crime, that person should be able to stay. Yeah, if you come to the country and don't commit any crime, okay. Still, you're committing a crime because you came in the wrong way. It's just like you can't sit up and, jump into a truck, start driving a truck, and then the police pull you over, and then you say, well, you know what, I didn't get into an accident, so why are you trying to arrest me for driving a truck without a license? It's like it's so backward with some of these Democrats. And I think they're sitting up and, they're making a big stink about, immigration and things like that, is because they're looking at it from the standpoint of like, okay, we don't want to lose voters. Like they're probably looking at it like, wait, this is our voter base right here. So we have to protect these folks even though they're breaking the law. Because to me, it doesn't make sense that Democrats would be okay with, illegal immigrants not being deported back to their, home countries. To me, it makes no sense. And, some of these folks that they're deporting are not the best people. I mean, some of these folks that Donald Trump is deporting are criminals. They've done theft, they've done robberies, all sorts of stuff. And so, for these Democrat mayors to be protecting these folks makes no sense, especially in cities that have, high crime. And so, it's just me, it's just my thoughts. But in the comment section, let me know how you feel about what I'm talking about. Thank you.